So I'm gonna record. Happy February, everybody. This is our first, well, we had our January call, but this is, yeah, our first call this month. So I am so excited for today's call. I had the pleasure of starting my day with Tiffany. We had a little one-on-one sesh this morning, and we were really talking about this call and what she's going to share. And I've been pumped all day for it, really. And she has been on Zoom calls all day long with coaches. And so I am so, so grateful that I got to start my day and end my day with you. And I'm just going to kind of throw you the floor and let you talk about who you are at Body, your role there, and then kind of dive into what you want to share with us tonight.
Awesome. Well, you're right. We got to start the day and end the day. And I know some of you just hopped on, but I'm like, we've both showered since. So that's a positive, right? You guys get the fresh version of us. So that's good. So thank you for the warm welcome. Kinsey and I have had an opportunity to meet a couple of times in the last month and a half. And I have to say, it has been so fun to get to know her. So love your leader, and she's amazing, which all of you probably already know. But my name is Tiffany. I am a corporate mentor with Body. I've been with Body going on 3 years. It'll actually be 3 years in July. I came in with a little bit of a network marketing background, and I like to just kind of say a little bit, maybe a company that you know. I come from Avon Corporate. I worked for them for almost 12 years, but prior to working for corporate, I did exactly what you all do. And I built a team, I sold the product, and I did the business side. So I like to share that just because sometimes I think, I don't want to use this phrase, but I'm totally going to use it. Those that can't do, teach. And I definitely have done it. And I've done what you all are doing each and every day. And I just have to say, it does not go unnoticed or unrecognized, because I know how much work that all of you put in. I know the highs, the lows, I know the fear, I know the excitement, I know all of the emotions. And I wanted to share that with you first and foremost as we get this call started. But my favorite way to start this call is to tell a story. I am a storyteller. And those of you who have not met me, I am huge on sharing stories. And I think I'm funny. My kids don't think so, but I think I'm funny. So you have to laugh with me so I don't feel like I'm in the room by myself. And I love that you're all showing your screens. That makes me happy too. So I'm going to kind of share a little bit of a journey that I went on about just over 3 years ago. I decided that I wanted to go from having the name mom, mommy, bruh, boy is the new one. I don't even know where that comes from, y'all. I literally, sometimes my kids call me names and I don't know where they get it because I have 2 girls, okay? But I came in and I was like, you know what? I need to find my identity again. So I decided to go online, and I went on to a little platform called Beachbody, and I signed up for a program. And I was like, I'm going to do this, and I guess I'm going to go all in. So of course I did, and I did 80-day obsession. And I remember starting this journey, and I told myself, well, who in their right mind starts out with an 80-day program for their day one? I'm not sure. Collegiate athlete that didn't do anything for 16 years. And sure, I'm going to start with an 80-day program. Okay. So I come in and I start doing this program, and I'm like, okay, Tiffany, you can make it through 7 days. And I'm like, how am I going to do this? I didn't have a community. I wasn't a part of a challenge group. Y'all, I went online and signed up on my own. And I questioned life choices after day 7 when I'm doing all the circus animals. I wanted to cry on day 7. But I remember that day 1, I'm like, what can I do to make sure that I'm holding myself accountable? So I reached out to my mother-in-law and one of my old managers. And I don't know why I picked those 2 people, but I'm like, who would be my cheerleaders? Like, who would literally cheer me on the whole time through this program? Because I have 80 freaking days. How am I going to do this? And remind you, I was like 7 days at a time. So I reached out to those 2 people and I just asked them, I said, hey, can I message you for the next month just for accountability purposes, can I message you every day? Is that all right with you? And they were like, sure, absolutely. Well, they didn't know what they were really getting themselves into, because by day 7, I literally texted my friend Michelle a messaged video of me almost in tears on my couch and said, I cannot do this anymore. She kept cheering for me. So day 7 went by. And then I was like, day 10 came around and like, well, I can't quit now. I have to keep going. So then I'm like, you know what? I can do till day 20. If I can at least get to day 20, then I can say I gave it my best shot. Day 20 came, then day 40. And I'm like, well, shoot, I'm halfway through. I've got to finish the dang thing. By day 80, I was sitting on my living room floor and I remember sobbing, like, and I'm not a cute crier. Y'all ask my husband. It is not cute when Tiffany cries. It is ugly crying for days. So luckily I was by myself, but I was in my living room on my floor just crying. And I remember I wasn't looking in a mirror at that point in time. So wasn't seeing like the physical transformation. I wasn't seeing like how much weight I had lost or how many inches that went bye-bye. And by the way, I lost 40 pounds through that program. But I do remember just feeling the sense of, oh my gosh, if I can do this, everyone else can too. That was the moment that the belief happened for me. So I share this story because we're going to go through a few things. And every time I tell that story, I still get the chills, which is so crazy to me. But I tell that story because as I'm sharing about belief and when my belief started, I want you to go back in your journey. So I'm going to give you a second and I want you to close your eyes. Not while you're driving. So if you're driving, please don't close your eyes. Oh, she's not driving. No, she's a passenger. Okay, we're safe. Okay, cool. We're good. We're good. So I want everyone to close your eyes for a minute. And I want you to go back to that moment when you completed your first program, or maybe it was nutrition, or maybe it was you became a part of a community and that's where the belief really happened. How were you feeling at that moment? What did you feel about yourself? What did you feel about how you wanted to share it with other people? And you can open your eyes. That's where your belief happened. And I want you to hold that in your belly through the entirety of this call. The reason why I do that with all of you is because I actually started a journey with body before I worked for corporate. And that's the part of the story I left out in the beginning, is that I believed in this company, in the products, and the opportunity in each and every one of you before we even hopped on this call. And the belief that you have is the belief that we carry each and every day and that we have an opportunity to share with other people. So you all promise me you're going to hold that in your belly. That's the fire. And we're going to continue to talk about it. And you're going to hear me talk about it more and more. So there's a quote that I love, and it's by Jackie Robinson, and it's, "A life is not important except on the impact it has in other lives." So we're going to kind of go through a fun acronym today. And it's an acronym, but it doesn't like spell anything fun. I tried and it didn't happen. So just roll with me. But it's something I've been using for about 10 years. And I call it BDAP. And so the B stands for the first thing we just spoke about. And the D stands for dreams. We're going to go into the other two in just a few. So I want to go back and circle back to the B. And everything that we do starts and ends with belief. And our belief shapes our thinking, which influences our behavior. I'm going to say that again. Our belief shapes our thinking, which influences our behavior. everything that starts with belief, now we have to move through a process. This is a business, right? So you guys have found that belief when your belief actually began, just like my belief and how it began. Now we're going to talk about really why we're here. And I know a lot of the times we like to look at, okay, it's the beginning of the year. I'm going to become an elite partner, or I'm going to hit 5-star, or I'm going to hit 2-star, or I want to hit SC 700 by the end of the year. And if those are your goals, it's fantastic. But we're going to connect it to something that I almost find that's more important. And that's something that it benefits you personally, and it's something that gets you up every morning so that you can share that fire that was in your belly right now. How many of you have gotten up in the morning? And let's be real, it's just us. There's like 10 of us on the call. How many of you have gotten up in the morning and you have great intentions when you get up and you're like, okay, I'm going to get up in the morning and I'm going to do my business activity tracker and I'm going to get a hold of 5 of my friends and I'm going to talk to them about the opportunity. And then I'm going to call all these connections and I'm going to reach out to 25 people on Facebook. And then you're like, oh, shoot, I left my clothes in the dryer. I got to go refluff them. How many of you have done it? Okay, cool. We're here together, honest in the room. Then you go refluff the clothes and you're like, okay. And you come back down and you step back down and you're like ready to work. And you think, okay, here we go. I'm going to start reaching out, and you start getting ready to type and you look over and there's dishes in the sink and you're like, oh shoot, I probably should do those really quick before the kids get home and make more dishes. So you get up and you walk over to the kitchen, you come back to your computer. And by this time we've passed like an hour, right? And you only have 3 hours a day to work your business. So you go over and do the dishes, and while you're doing the dishes, you decide that you're hungry. So then you're going to get a snack. And then you're like, oh, shoot, the refrigerator is filthy. I probably should clean it up a little bit. And you're like, oh my gosh, I need to make those calls. So then the refrigerator finally gets clean and you come over. How many of you went through this spiral? I could go on and on. Have you guys done this? Have you guys seen that TikTok, or I don't even know if it's a reel? I don't know, but it's like this lady that's talking to her husband and she's like going in a circle of like the vicious cycle of what happens. It's our brains. They're wired that way. I'm pretty sure. I think that may be how we're all blessed. But sometimes I think that if we had a focus or something that we're excited about, then the distractions become minimal or less because we get so excited to do what we're dreaming about. So I'm going to ask all of you a question. When is the last time that you developed your, let's say, 3-month dream? Personal, not business, personal. I'm pulling up the chat because my chat was not on. See? Oh, here we go. Give a mouse a cookie. Yes. Yes. Kenzie, I love it. Anybody? Last 3 months. When is the last time that you developed your 3-month dream? What about a 1-month dream? Anyone? Ooh, I like it. Okay. I see a hand, Stacy. I see you. What was your 1-month dream, Stacy? Do you care if I call you out?
No, not at all.
I-
I have a journal thing that prompts me to do like, what's your focus for the month? What's your dream for the month? And it was alignment and to be present. So less screen time and more engaged with my daily practice of meditation. So that was my 1-month goal or dream.
I love it. I love it.
It's small.
No, I love it. It's okay. It's all right. You're starting somewhere, right? So I'm going to put a challenge out there and we're going to do a fun activity. And here's the deal. And you guys will get to know me. I love action-based calls. So I'm going to make you guys do stuff with me. I made you already close your eyes and you're like, who is this girl? And why is she telling me to close my eyes? But I want you to actually do things because I feel that sometimes we get on trainings and we leave with all this great information. And then where do we put it? it goes in that little file on the side of our head. And I've got way too many files, especially like I really do. So I really want you to have some time to do some action through this call. So in the next month, I'm going to go reversed. No, I'm going to go forward first. Let's do in the next month. What would you like to do as a dream for yourself? What is something that you want to do? And I'll give you an example. Maybe it's paying a bill that's been over your head, or maybe it's buying groceries because they're expensive. Maybe it's putting extra money towards groceries, or maybe it's putting extra money towards a car payment, or hey, maybe it's my daughters both play volleyball and maybe it's paying a volleyball fee because the dues are crazy expensive every month. Maybe it's buying horse feed if you have animals. I don't know what it is. Drop it in the chat in the next month. What would you like to do? And let me reverse it a little bit. If you had an extra $250 in the bank, what would you spend it on the next month? I'll help you all a little bit. Drop it in the chat. Plane tickets. Ooh, where are you going, Stephanie? I love it. Plane tickets are so expensive now.
Stephanie's going everywhere. That's the answer. She's going everywhere.
I know she's going somewhere right now. Look at her. Always on the move, Stephanie, always on the move. Pre-made snacks for postpartum. Ooh, I like this. I like this. Pay for summer vacations. Where are you going, Kenzie? Get specific. Where are you going? Money is not an issue for me. So I would like to have 10 good conversations with new people around body. Ooh, Karen. Ooh, I get to dig with Karen. I love this so much. Okay, Karen. So I'm going to play with that a little bit. I want to play with it in the sense that in order for you to really create excitement and have those good conversations, how do you get them excited about what you're doing? It may be the workouts, it may be the opportunity, but I never predetermine that for somebody, right? So how can you get them excited if money's not an issue? And I just had a call with a superstar diamond. She's one of our top partners in the in the network. And of course, she makes money, so she doesn't have that need. Same thing. And so I asked her, I said, if you had an extra $250 in your bank, though, how would you go celebrate with your kids? How would you go celebrate the fact that you're doing this? Once you do this, how are you going to celebrate it? So maybe think once you have those 10 conversations, what are you going to do to celebrate it? Maybe it's a massage. Maybe you typically don't go and get a massage, or maybe it's going to get a pedicure, or maybe it's going on a trip. Ask Stephanie where she's going and you can join her. This is my funny part. I'm not that funny, but I think I am sometimes. I'm so sorry. But I really want you to get specific on finding something, because those are the things you can create your story with. That's what makes an impact. Sharing your belief and then sharing your dream. We've got to have all 4 pieces, and it's a consistent thing, because when you can share yours, you can show other people how to do the same. Okay. Extra 250 would help with senior photos. Girl, I just had senior year last year. I have a 19-year-old, which is super weird because I'm only 25. But graduation is no joke. It is like, I thought I was going to have to take out an extra loan. So I totally love that. Okay. Anybody else? Did everyone share? I would have a night away with my husband without a child. See, I love that. Where are you going to go, Melissa? What are you going to wear? Think about something. Get really specific, granular. Where are you going to go? What are you going to wear? I want you to envision how he's going to smell, if he's going to wear the cologne that you pick out for him, because you all know that we pick it out, they don't, right? Like we all got that. I love this. A weekend getaway to the coast. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Have you priced things out, Victoria? Have you looked at amounts? I am going to dig. I promise you, I won't let up. Ask your fearless leader, because I did not let up this morning. I kept digging. I will keep digging. And there's a whole reason behind this. Because you remember how I was talking about all those distractions? When you get so specific with what you're wanting to do, even if it's helping those 10 people so you can celebrate and share that celebration so you can help 10 more people because they get excited by seeing your celebration. When you get so specific on where you're going on that summer vacation, or what you're going to wear when you go out on a date night with your husband, that's what you're going to think about when the dishes are on the sink and you don't really care. That's what's going to push you through doing the hard things, just like doing a workout, y'all. It's just like when you push play and you really don't want to. How many of you don't want to push play some days? I hardly ever. I do not love working out, but I love the way it makes me feel. This is the same thing. Then the next thing about this is now we know we have a vehicle to help us get us to our dreams right in front of us. And that's the body opportunity, right? I like to make the 1 month dream, and I'll tell you why. And I'm going to tell a quick story. Again, love to tell stories. Do you guys hate me yet? Telling stories? Okay, just checking. So I remember when I first started in network marketing 14 years ago, and I come from a background of management, and I was used to going into a building and punching a time clock as a manager. And I'm a cosmetologist by trade. So I was managing hair salons. I went to school for business management, ended up in cosmetology. I don't know how, because I honestly think people are disgusting sometimes. So I'm just saying it out loud. But I had my youngest daughter, and I remember thinking, she was about 3 days old. And for the fourth time in her life, she threw up and stopped breathing. And we went to the hospital every month, and she was 3 months old. And I remember sitting in a hospital room for the fourth time, and she had IVs in her head. And I was just sitting there looking at my helpless child and knowing that I had a 5-year-old at home, and knowing that I had to make an income. There was no way that we could live off of one income. We were living off mac and cheese and top ramen, y'all, like totally transparent and vulnerable right now. So I decided that I knew there was an answer, and I knew my mom had been doing it for 20 years prior. So I decided to go online, and I signed up to be a lead for this network marketing company, Avon. So I was a lead, and I got a phone call within like 10 minutes, y'all. I'm like, holy cow, lady must be desperate. That's what I thought in my brain. I'm just saying it out loud, okay? But she calls me in 10 minutes, and I was in the middle of the hospital room, and I'm like, I'm really sorry, not a good time. She probably called me about 5 times after that, and every time was not a good time because I was in the midst of my own personal hell with my life and not knowing what was happening with my child. And she's fine, by the way. She's thriving. She's crazy good. But I was waiting for what, I'm not sure. And finally, I told her, yes, let's go. I want to get started. So I remember her coming to my house. Her name is Sandy Fain. She's one of my best friends to this day. She comes to my house and she sits at my kitchen table, and we start filling out all my paperwork, and I give her my social, and like, who does that? I'm like, she's a stranger, and I just gave her my social and it's on paper and I don't know what she's doing with it. Kind of crazy. But I sign up, and I remember her saying to me, the very first thing she says, she goes, okay, so what do you want to do in the next month? And I'm like, listen, lady, I don't even know what I'm doing for dinner tonight. Like, what do you mean in the next month? So probably the same thing you guys were all thinking of me right now. I was thinking of her. So I get it. No judgment. So I'm like, the next month. She goes, from an income perspective. And I'm like, well, transparency. We just paid our electric bill middle of summer. I live in Arizona, and it was over $500, and we couldn't pay our water bill. She goes, okay, how much is it? And I said, it's $108. And she said, write it down. And I said, okay. So I wrote it down. She goes, is there anything else? And it took me a second, but I went back through the week. And I remember that week before, I went to the grocery store with my 5-year-old at the time. And we were shopping and I had a gallon of milk in my hand and she came over to me with her bright hazel eyes and she's like, Mommy, can I get these? And she had those little yogurts with the M&Ms on top. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay. And I had to make a tough decision at that point in time. And I don't know who was crying harder when we left that grocery store with that gallon of milk in my hand, her or me, but I have to tell you, I looked at that lady, Sandy, and I said, I want to get my daughter those yogurts. And I remember I fast forwarded a month. And for that month, y'all, I got up every morning and those dishes sat in the sink. And I'm sure my husband hated me and I didn't care. But I got up every morning because I had a focus and I had a dream. And it was so deep and I was so connected to it. And I got that first bonus check and it was $125. Now that seems so minimal compared to the earnings you can potentially make with body lipsticks versus Shakeology. Okay, bear with me. But I walked into my daughter's room and I was so excited. I remember going to the grocery store and we got her not 1, not 2, but 3 packs of those yogurts. And I paid my water bill. Now, my daughter is 19 now, and she still remembers that today, to this day. She hates it when I tell this story, and so does my youngest. They're like, oh my gosh, here we go with the yogurt story again. But I have to tell you, it's something that you'll never forget. What is your yogurt story, and are you creating it right now? Or are you helping someone else create theirs? The dream is powerful. Now let's connect it to the body and how body can be the vehicle to help you get there, right? That's the goal. So 250, what's the easiest way that we have control over to get to the 250? We now have an additional way, by the way. But the easiest way that we have the most control over is our commissions on product that we sell. That's the easiest way you can figure it out. Team cycle bonus, quarterly bonus, matching bonus, all of those are great, but we do not have direct control over them, or we can't necessarily calculate exactly what they're going to be. Total solution packs and the new one, group volume bonus. We do have control. How many of you have seen the new report in the back office of the group volume bonus? Okay. If you have not yet seen it, I challenge you to dig into your back office because it is an amazing report. There's an extra training video on it. I can send it to Kenzie. She can send it to you also. You can watch it too, but it is incredible. But we're going to talk about total solution packs right now. So $250, I would say roughly the easiest way to get to 250 is about 4 people with total solution packs. That's about the commission. Am I right? Pretty close. And I know commissions have changed a little, so I think that's pretty close. But I'm doing it for simple math because it's almost 6 o'clock in Arizona. My brain is not working as well, okay? So 4 people in a month, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it down in a weekly because it seems more achievable to me. And this is the action part. So I said we're going to talk about BDAP. It's belief, dream, action. And that's what we're talking about right now. So the action part. 4 weeks, 4 people. 1 person a week. If you focused on bringing in 1 person a week for the next 4 weeks, does that seem a little bit more achievable for all of you? Versus, and here's the fun part, I want to hit Success Club 5. I'm going to hit Success Club 10. I'm going to become a 1-star diamond. We connected it to the dream, which is getting you up. Now, here's the action, which doesn't necessarily have to be connected to a title. This is a people business, right? And I gave you a quote earlier by Jackie Robinson. And I think that Kenzie posted it up above, but a life is not important except for the impact it has on other lives. We're impacting lives. We're here to share a belief. You know, that belief that you found? That fire, that's what we're going to share. I almost think that if your belief is so strong, then the conversations you're having, they're going to create their own invitation, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But if you can express your belief so strong, did you all believe me when I was telling you about my story about 80-day obsession? Were you feeling what I was feeling? Could you feel what I was talking about when I was telling you about the yogurt story? How many of you had tears in your eyes? That's the belief. That's the impact that we have in our hands. We have it to give to other people. So 1 per week. So now who are they? That's the magical question, right? They're not knocking at my door. Are they knocking at yours? I didn't think so. So who are they? How do we find them? So right now, you're going to have your first challenge. There's going to be more. This is not our last call. This is not like a one and done. I know Kinsey and I are going to be working together a lot. So you're going to have to see my face more. I'm so sorry. But this is where you're going to have an opportunity to kind of figure out who you need to share that belief with, not invite them. And here's my love-hate relationship with the word invitation. Okay. My love-hate relationship is we say we don't want to feel like a sleazy car salesman, but if we're just sending a cold invite and people really don't know what we're doing or who we are or our story or our yogurt story or our 80-day obsession story, or if they don't know that you want to go on a date night with your husband, I'm not telling you to tell them all of that, but you get the drift. They're not going to want to hear anything about body because how's that going to benefit them? They don't know. They don't know what we know. We drink the Energize. They don't. I was going to say Kool-Aid, but Energize sounded better. I'm just saying. So I want you to think about, who do you already know? When's the last time all of you in this room have done your warm market list? And I'm going to call it that for a second. When's the last time? Drop it in the chat. When's the last time you wrote down every single person that you know? I love the honesty right now. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know Danielle Natoni did this yesterday, Kenzie. That's fantastic. Years. Ooh, October. Okay, Melissa, that's better. Not too sure. Okay.
She talked, it was really
You know,
good. She had a brain dump list, like a memory jogger. And she's like, we meet different people in different seasons. So even though maybe you did this as a brand new coach, your life changes, you're around new people. And my brain dump list was completely different than anything I would have made a year ago. So it was just a great exercise.
well, everybody's going to get a chance to do it right now again. And I'm going to share with you something fun right now, Kenzie, because you're probably going to find new people just because I'm going to give you some different types of triggers too. So everybody grab a pen. I'm so sorry. I've been sick, so I'm trying not to cough in your ear. So I apologize if it's really loud on your end. But everybody grab a pen and paper. And you're going to have a full 3 minutes. There's no magic in 3. It's just how long the average song lasts. I'm just saying. I'm going to give you 3 full minutes. And we're going over. Sorry, Kenzie, this is my life and I can never go 30 minutes. I talk too much. But I want you to take 3 full minutes and I want you to write down every single person that you know. I'm going to give you some hints. I want you to go through your Frank list. Your friends, your relatives, your acquaintances, your neighbors, and your coworkers. Past, present, and future. Well, future might be weird if you know who you're going to live next to. I don't know. Maybe not. But I'm also going to challenge you to dig, because here's the deal. You might not know their name, but you see them all the time. Little lady with the dark hair behind the counter at Walgreens. I had no idea that her daughter was going to become my next best leader. She bought, I don't even know how many lipsticks every single month. And I don't know if she was eating them or what, but her daughter signed up like 6 months after I started selling to her. I didn't even know her name. Her name's Mary. And her daughter was one of my top sales representatives on my team. Why? Because Mary shared with her daughter that I didn't even know her name. I just talked to her. So I want you to write down every single person that you know. And I'm going to give you 3 full minutes and I'm going to play a song while you do it. Ready, go. Can you hear my song? Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest. You can beat the world, you can beat the war. You can talk to God, go banging on his door. You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock, you can move a mountain, you can break rocks. You can be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you go find yourself. You go the distance, you can run the mile, you can walk straight through hell with a smile. You can be the hero, you can go. Breaking all the records, sleep under the people. Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your body. We're gonna know if they even try. Do it for your country, do it for your name. But they're gonna be a day when you be teachers, be politicians, be preachers. Yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, be truth seekers, be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers, be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions.
Okay. So I want you to count really quick. How many did you write down in 3 minutes? And drop it in the chat for me. Kenzie, are these some new people that you wrote down this time versus last time? $19, $18, $27. I love it. 41, Melissa. Okay. It's amazing. So every time I've done this call, 22, it's pretty consistent. The average is usually about 20, and it's really consistent. So I just want you to think, you did that in 3 minutes. 3. What would it look like if you took a full 30 minutes and brain dumped every single person that you know? Then from there, I'm going to take it a step further. So I'm going to challenge you a couple things. The first one is I want you to take a full 30 minutes. And I want you to write down every single person that you know. These are some of the connections that we may have not thought about sharing our belief with. It's not about, hey, do you want to buy from me? It's about just sharing our belief and what we've done. We come up with a new story every single day. We're constantly writing and talking about new things in our stories on Instagram, in our messages on Facebook, wherever you are. But I think the thing that remains consistent is so many are continuously looking for that viral reel. We have our viral audience right in front of us. And that could be in your who do you know list. 30 minutes to write that whole who do you know list. And I want you to look at this list right now. And I want you to circle the first 5 that you're going to reach out to. Share that belief. Maybe it's sharing a belief in a product. Maybe it's sharing just the belief in the community. Or the belief that you collectively all think I'm crazy. I don't know. Share a belief with 5 people on that list. Circle their names. From those 5, I want you to put a little heart next to one of those people that you want to share the love for the opportunity and how you feel that they could benefit from it too. Now here's the plan, and that's the final letter. Belief, dream, action, plan. Here's the plan. When in the next 48 hours do you see yourself reaching out to those 5 you just circled? And I want you to drop it in the chat for me. This is accountability at its finest. I love it, Kenzie. Tonight, ooh, Victoria, tomorrow morning. Okay, I love it. I love it. So I'm going to reconnect something. We talked about $250. We talked about 4 people. You just circled a list of 5. 5 minus 4 equals 1. One of your 5 potentially becoming a partner. If you were to do that every single month and had that consistency and created that behavior, what do you think would happen by the end of this year? 1 new partner, 4 extra new customers, 1 new partner, 4 extra new customers. That starts compiling. And the fun part is that's the group volume bonus, y'all. I'm just letting you know, just a little insight. That's the group volume bonus. You're going to start making extra money from that too. And you're going to start building. And guess what? We're not going to be focused on 5-star or elite or success club, because when you sign up for people, that is success club. You're already there. You're almost to SC10. The focus stops being on a title and it starts being on the lives that we're impacting and changing. And while you're changing theirs, you're changing your own. I'm challenging all of you. We get wrapped up a lot in trying to go for a goal. And if we took a step back and to walk into every conversation to share our belief and allow them to create their own invitation, I will tell you that the business changes. That's when network marketing changed my life. 14 years ago, I've been in this industry for a really long time, and I have to tell you, the opportunity we provide is hands down better than any opportunity out there. And I say that from experience. But 14 years ago, an opportunity just like this changed my life. Can you share that same belief? And I'm going to close with a quote, because we started with belief and we're going to end with belief, that your belief determines your action determines your results determine your belief. Starts with belief and ends with belief. I'm excited to watch all of you and achieving this, because guess what? I talked to Kenzie. So it's going to be fun. Did any of you get something out of this call? Do you at least take a nugget, even if it's that I'm just a crazy lunatic? Because I am. It's okay. End of day, this is me, real life. Oh, someone wants me to repeat it. Your belief determines your action. Your action determines your results. Your results determine your belief. Yeah, share the belief. Awesome, ladies. Well, thank you so much for having me, Kenzie. This has been great.
Yes, thank you so much. I know, speaking for me, I needed to hear every single word of this, so I can't even count the nuggets that I took away, but I think I can speak for everyone else a little bit and say, I think that's exactly what everyone needed to hear too. So I just want to say thank you so much. I know it's been a long day for you, but I appreciate it so much. And
You're so welcome. I loved every minute, and I am excited to, are any of you going to NLC? Did anybody earn NLC?
no one's going this year.
Okay. It's okay. There's next year, right? I mean, like, we've got big things, but you all have registered for a summit, correct?
A lot of
Everyone's going to summit. So you all should be getting your hat, because you have to register to get your hat. Like, I'm all about swag. You give me free stuff, I'm
right. I forgot about the hat.
huge. It's huge. So yes, I hope to see all of you at Summit. I'm sure I'll see you before then on another call. I do have a fun recruiting call we could kind of do, Kenzie. I have all kinds of stuff that I don't know if I can ever repeat something verbatim, because I kind of go off the seat of my pants. I always pretend I take notes before and it never happens, but I would love to join you guys again. Let me know if there's anything that any of you need. Definitely hit me up on Instagram. It's Tiffany_Albright BB. Find me, and I want to see your list. Like, when you're done with your list, take a picture, send them to me. I want to see.
Yes, you got it. We're on it. All right. Well, have a
Awesome.
good evening. Thank you again so much.
You're so welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a great night.